1, 2. Okay, we're live. Yes, again. Welcome to Nation Fan TV. Kaizer Chiefs just lost to Vittesse, a club, if I may remind you, that plays in the Eredivisie, the eighth ranked league in the world. The Premier Soccer League, on the other hand, are ranked around the 50th position in the world. I am saying that just to preface the fact that people who are losing their heads right now because Chiefs just lost a preseason match are not taking those things into consideration. And I want to start by drilling that in before anything. I don't want to start by saying, oh, it's a preseason match. No, forget that. This is not about it being a preseason match, but it's about it being Chiefs playing against a way better team than them. So I think let's not panic. Let's not let people and agents of doom make us think that, oh, Chiefs suck. They have no. Let's calm down and once we are calm, then we've talked about, we've put ourselves in a situation whereby we're logical. Then we can now say, okay, what actually happened in the match? What did we see and what can we learn? Because that's the only way, right? So we need to look at the game in that way. So as you are joining, just make sure to tell me where you're watching from and your thoughts on the game, obviously. Okay, so Asqalela, let's start here with the very simple thing. What happened in the game, right? So the very first thing that happened in the game is that Kaizer Chiefs started the game with what seems to be the better squad, right? They started with the team that you'd expect, not all of them, but most of the players who were there in the beginning of the game to start, right? So the guys that you saw starting the game are likely the guys who are going to start. But there are obviously exceptions. Let me just go through the starting 11. So in that starting 11, there was Brendan Peterson. So ask me, is he going to start? Yes, obviously he's going to start. If we go to the right back position, Umunyane, is he going to start? Maybe not. Reason why I'm saying he might not be a starter in the season is because Frosler might start there. So those two, we know they'll be competing for that position. Inacio Miguel, he will be starting and he will be a captain. Aiden McCarthy, he won't be a starter, but the person who will be starting is Roshun Totli, who's recovering from an injury. Midfield, Tabocel and Spongsenim Tetwa, those two might start together because we know that in the position of Umtetwa, it's usually Mart, and now Mart has left Kaizer Chiefs. So it's either him or Ungobo, who was playing as a 10 today. Left winger, they experimented with Umtu Shabalala, and we've seen him play much better as a 10. Right winger, there was Mfundo Vilagazi, and we've seen again that Mfundo Vilagazi usually comes on second half as a sub and things like that. So to me, this squad and Flavio Silva up front, the squad that started the game was clearly experimental, but most of the players who are there are likely going to be starters. So that is why even in the game itself, you saw that they were much better in the game in the first half. But in every game that you watch, you must know that there are two factors into it. One, Kaizer Chiefs started their stronger squad, and you saw them much better with controlling the ball and with moving the ball around and with combining. Second half, on the other hand, if we're just going to start by doing the overall thing of the game, second half, you saw that Chiefs all of a sudden were now in a situation whereby they were no longer in control of the game. So now this comes down to two things. One, Vittesse were obviously much better in the second half. In the second half, Vittesse, they just played their best squad, and we saw it. We saw that they were playing the better squad and their players were much better and they were running all over Kaizer Chiefs. And that's precisely why Chiefs actually in the second half, they were getting more chances behind. And that is why you were seeing Morris getting more chances running behind the defense of Vittesse, because they were much better in the second half of Vittesse. They were playing their stronger squad. As such, Kaizer Chiefs were going to get opportunities from counters, right? So that all makes sense. So one of the few things that we must also talk about is the fact that, guys, let's like the video, right? Let's like the video. We have 669 people, which is the most people I've had on a live stream, but I only have 68 likes. That is not nice at all. And also, while you're here, I know a lot of you are not subscribed to the channel. Do make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. 86 likes. Can we get to 1,000 likes before the stream even ends? So I'll also read your comments, but I also want to go through the game. So obviously, second half, the coach changes everyone. And some people are not comfortable with this. Some people don't like this. Some people think that the coaches shouldn't do such things. I shouldn't change the squad that was working. Why would a coach change a squad that is working? It's a preseason, guys. Like, I think we need to talk about that as well. It's a preseason. This is a time whereby every player must be given an opportunity. So if you're going to tell me that in a preseason match, play your best squad until the end of the game, then what about the other players who are not your best squad? That means when in a preseason, you are going to play to win all the games and play all your best players. And by the time the season starts, you have not tested the other players who are weaker. Because if we're talking about starters, Umfundo Vilakazi doesn't start because there's Lilepo in his position. If we're talking about starters, then you are not going to start both Ushinga and Frosla. I mean, Frosla and Monyane. So when are you going to test Monyane if you're going to start to do Frosla? So now they had to experiment and try different things in the match, because if you don't do that, then you're going to have issues. And now I have to address other things, obviously, about signings. So the first signing, which is Silva. Silva, guys, a lot of people are talking about Silva, and there's a lot of negativity that I've seen around Silva, because people are saying, oh, Silva does not have a first touch. Silva was bad for us today. But I say to people, okay, guys, let's talk about this game, yeah? Let's just talk about this game and not talk about any other thing. From this game, I will say, how many touches, right? How many touches did you see Silva getting? How many times was he on the ball? Because out of all the passes, even Abosofa score, they don't have the specific stats that I'm looking for. They just have the overview stats. So we don't have someone who can say right now to me, oh, Mpilo, I know Silva got the ball 7 times, but he wasted it. No one can tell me the actual number that Silva got the ball. They will just say, oh, Silva didn't do the thing that he was supposed to do. Okay, fine, I get it. He was not on the ball, right? I mean, he had few bad touches, but who doesn't have bad touches? When we're doing the live stream, I even pointed to the fact that when I watched Inter Miami play PSG, wow, 867 views, 221 likes. When you watch Inter Miami play against PSG in the Club World Cup, you saw that Messi misplaced passes. Messi did not look like Messi. I'm talking about Messi now. Sometimes you can play a game and you're not going to look like yourself because of one reason or the other. In the case of Silva today, he couldn't get on the ball because he's a striker and he was central. You could see the touches. If you can have a touch map of Flavio Silva today, you will see that he was getting the ball wide, right? He was not getting the ball central because that's where he was marked. But where he was getting the ball is when he went wide and tried to get the ball. So that is my thing that I'm saying, that some of the things we need to watch the game and look at why was Silva not getting the ball. He was not getting the ball because he was central. If he drifted, and when he drifted, then that's when he got the ball. Did he have a good game? Absolutely not. Did he get the ball? Absolutely not. It's this thing again that we're seeing. If you flip on the other side again and we say, look at Morris in the second half. What Morris did in the second half, he missed 3 chances, 2 which he should have scored, 100% should have buried. But does that mean he's now a better striker than Silva because he got opportunities? No. Obviously now the team that we were playing against, Vittesse, were in a position whereby they were getting the ball more, and the Chiefs were able to try and catch them on counters. So obviously not we're going to get chances here and there. So from what I've seen this game is, I will say that please like the video, but I will also say that one thing that we need to also put in our minds is there are players that we can excuse. For example, players who are new to Chiefs. But I cannot excuse players who have been at Chiefs already. Because if you've already been at Kaizer Chiefs and you're still performing like last season, then I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to take mistakes from a keeper who's still panicking after having been at Chiefs for the past 10 years. I won't tolerate such things. I will not. But I will also not judge the technical team and the entire team based on today's performance, because it was literally a game of two halves. We're better in the first half, we scored in the first half, and also just to prove that Chiefs even today, they won the game by through experiments, right? So Ufrosler doesn't score that goal if he's on his normal position, the right back, but he gets to score that kind of goal because he's cutting into his right foot and then he can shoot. Second half, if he's on the right, he doesn't do that. So all of the things that were happening in today's game, most of them are just experimental, and we should just accept to go to, no man, this game was an experiment, and we're playing the next game. Is it I think we're playing next, we're playing the next friendly in the next few days. And now, even in that game, we shouldn't now start judging the team and say, oh yeah, Chiefs suck or Chiefs are the best. Because first half, I saw a lot of people even on Twitter starting to overreact. Oh, Chiefs is the best team in the world. And then all of a sudden, they are down and now people are turning against them. So what did we actually learn from today's game? Combinations still need to be worked on. Combinations still need to be worked on. There are players who have already raised their hands. Oh, also, Ucele has a new role at Kaizer Chiefs. He's now playing more as a box-to-box. Last year, he was a deep-lying playmaker. If you don't know what that is, it's basically just helping the team build up from the back. So he's playmaking from the deep, like collecting the ball, which is something that Samgelo Zwane is actually supposed to be able to do because he profiles more as that type of a player. 855 views, 285 likes. That's not nice. So, yeah, let's not panic, guys. I see a lot of people complaining, and you have a right to feel bad because the team lost. But once again, I will remind you, Uguti, the team that we're playing today is in the Eredivisie. I will happily remind you that. And if Vittesse last season, they finished, where is this thing now? Can't even find them. They're playing in the second, it might be second division, but they're still in Europe. It's different from where we are playing. It's in Netherlands. And if you think of Netherlands, who do you think of? I'm thinking of Virgil van Dijk. I'm thinking of Ryan Gravenberch. I'm thinking of Cody Gakpo. Like, those are just players who are at Liverpool. I can go to other teams and talk about Barcelona, Frankie de Jong, for example. I can talk about other players. You understand me? So this is a country that knows football. This is a country that is way ahead of us in terms of outing blockelo. That's a nice thing, mina ngami. Mina umuntu ozofuna ukuzongiphaphela, hide user from on this channel. So khona abanye benu abazoqhubeka and think they're insulting me, but they've been blocked. That's the funny thing. So yeah, overall, we did not do that great in this game in the second half specifically, but we played against the team that turned up the heat in the second half. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to say, from this, there are players who raise their hands, and then there are players who did not raise their hands at all. And that will need to be fixed. But then again, this was the first match the Chiefs played, and now the players have to now look at social media and see what people are saying, because yeah, people are saying a lot of things. But that's all I have to say for now. Let me go watch the Club World Cup. I have a game to analyze. Wow, Chelsea have already scored. That sucks. That really sucks. So that's that. That's that. That's all I'm gonna say today. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals Pelomo.